Hey everybody, my name's Rachel and I'm going to do a book review about a book by Carolyn Sparks. It's called All I Want for Christmas is a Vampire. This is the 5th book in her Love at Stake series. Now this book, I chose to do this book out of order because it's one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. I read it almost every year at Christmas. That sounds crazy, but I really do love this book. I love the characters in it, and the thoughts behind it. It's just a really good book. Carolyn Sparks' Love at Stake series is a contemporary paranormal romance about vampires and other things, but the first several are about vampires and you learn about other things in there. But it's also a comedy. It has all kinds of different things that can happen, little things, sliding on ice, trying to get out of the bathtub in a hurry and falling down. All kinds of different things happen in her books that make them more real life. Also with this one, that's a little bit different than most of the other paranormal books that I've read about vampires. This one is a traditional vampire. They are turned in a traditional way. They are dead during the day for all intents and purposes. The traditional vampire stories. But it's really, really fun. And the characters are great. I just really like them. When it comes to who should read this, that's a little bit different. I would kind of put it as a young adult, but it also depends on the maturity of the person, because I would say 18 plus, definitely. But if somebody is a little bit more mature, maybe 16. Anything younger than that, I don't think so. It's just, it is a romance. It's got extra stuff in there. Same thing with the language. There's not a whole lot of cussing. It's not every other breath something coming out. It's just, it's not excessive, but it is mature. This book actually takes place, of course, at Christmas time, but it takes place the Christmas after the last book. The last book takes place during the summer. This one takes place that Christmas. So it does fall into a line in the book. Now, you don't have to read this book in order. It can be done as a standalone, even though you can understand things better if you read them in the correct order. Because you read them in the correct order, you'll already know some of the characters, but there's also new ones that are introduced. This story is about Ian and Tony. Ian is the vampire, and Tony is the new daytime guard. Ian is a little bit different because he grew over the summer. He was actually 15 when he was turned, so he sounds like a 15-year-old. He looks like a 15-year-old, but they found a way to age over the summer, and he is trying to get used to himself. You have to read the whole thing to really understand it, but in just about 2 weeks, he grew 12 years, and it wasn't very fun for him, so he's trying to get used to it, but he's also trying to find his love. That's how he put it. And when he was talking to his friends, they decided to put him on a dating site. It turns out very interesting. You just have to read it. Tony, on the other hand, is the new daytime guard for the townhouse where they're staying. And she realizes pretty quick that Ian is going to make this job a lot harder than she thought. She does have ulterior motives when she starts the job, though. So there's other things going on. She's trying to save her friends by telling the world that vampires exist, but then she realizes that they're pretty good guys. This book is really fun. Like I said, I read it all the time. I have several favorite parts, but there's not any real quotes or anything that I could give you. I just know that chapter 13 is one of my favorites because even though both of the characters, E and Tony, have issues, that's when they start to confront them. They get together and they realize, okay, there's more going on both sides than just what they've been told. There's also a little part after, I think it's after chapter 13, I'm pretty sure it's after chapter 13, where Tony ends up saving one of the kids, Constantine, and it's really, it shows that she is actually worthy to be part of the group. It's something that she fought with through the entire story. And it's something that she really just has problems with. And I know a lot of us have problems like that. You know, fighting, is it worth it? Do you want to do this? Am I worth it? That's something that everybody has has said at some point. And that's something that she has a problem with too. But this helps her come to terms with everything in her life. And it's just a really funny, fun story. It's a great read. And like I said, I love her series. I've read every one of them. I'm going to give this book 10 bookmarks out of 10 bookmarks. It is really good and a recommended read. Thanks. Happy reading.